Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's video. My name's David, I'm a life coach, and I make these videos, I hope, to help you guys heal from your emotional traumas. Today's video is about how the narcissist is the fool's fool. Before I get started, I would really appreciate it for those of you who are not already subscribed to my channel. Please consider going down below and hit that red button to subscribe. You can comment down below, ask questions, you can vote up or down on this video, and I really appreciate your support. That really helps these. Thank you. So why is the narcissist the fool's fool, right? Don't we feel like the fool? We think we are, right? So I can't believe I'm going to quote the Bible. I'm only doing it because it was written hundreds of years ago. I want to show you something. How does the Bible describe or define a fool? The Bible describes fools in detail, showing how their foolishness reaches to every area of their lives and ultimately brings harm to themselves. A fool is unwilling to learn or be corrected. He only cares about expressing his own opinion. Who does that sound like? All of you watching my videos have some kind of experience with a very, very narcissistic person or persons. Doesn't it sound like them? Definition by Merriam-Webster of a fool: a person lacking in judgment or prudence, cautiousness. We did that, right? We may have lacked some judgment and proceeded without caution, with prudence, into these relationships. But we're not the fool. We feel like the fool. We just feel like it. It's shame. I made different videos about shame. Shame is you're a bad person, okay? And guilt is you did something bad. Maybe we are more guilty than a bad person, but we feel like a bad person. We feel ashamed. They are the fool. Not the victim, but the one that acts like a victim. Who's that again? Being swindled, defrauded, cheated, double-crossed, hoaxed, conned, deceived, tricked, played, duped, misled, hoodwinked, bluffed, outwitted, or being made a fool of, especially by someone you love, is not your fault. It is not your fault. Being a victim isn't a fool. It isn't. Seniors are fooled out of their money quite often. They're the number one target. I answered this was so bad. I want to share it with you though. I remember I was in a house that had a home phone. Those used to be the ones that were frauded and stuff like this. Were fraud where they try and get you on your home phone. Now it's cell phones. But I was at a residence once that they had so many fraud calls because they were a senior. They were very old. And I remember one time I picked up the phone and it was just a man going, "Grandpa, I need help again." I mean, horrible, awful. Is that senior who's been fooled? Are they a fool? No. The person fooling them out of the money is the fool. We don't live like this, especially when it becomes emotional, especially when it becomes someone that we allowed in our hearts that tried so hard to be in our lives. They are at fault. And that needs to be, that's just one of the very first steps of recovering and healing from someone who's emotionally traumatized you, is that it's not your fault. That is so important. I don't care how many times it happened. I don't care how many times you took them back. I don't care how many times it was the same way, the same time. They did it about the same thing. It doesn't matter how many times someone has hurt you. It's not your fault. We made a mistake, okay? Mistakes are okay to make. They just feel bad. And if we keep making the same mistake, it feels worse. it starts to cause shame. It starts to go from we've done something wrong or bad or made a mistake to we feel like a bad person. But we change. They don't. You cannot do these things to people who you claim you care about, that love you and care about you, and change. Children can do bad things and change. And we weren't the best human being when we were younger and children, but we learned and we changed. These are adults in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s and 60s and 70s, and I've even seen them do it in their 80s act like this. People who swindle and defraud and cheat and double-cross, hoax, lie, con, deceive, trick, play, dupe, mislead, hoodwink, bluff, and outwit. That's the fool. The fool who thinks that the world works this way, that this is how society works. The fool that thinks they've got you duped. That thinks they got something from you, from a human being. When we don't get something from someone, we share it with them. That's how life works. Not steal, take, con, trick, fool something out of somebody. Because we can't. We can trick, fool, con, money, belongings, time, things like this. But what we really, really want and need from people is something we share together, not take. The person who thinks that is the fool. Narcissistic personality disorders' most horrible trait is that they lack awareness. That's the biggest problem. People say, can they change? Some people think they can and they can't. But if you're not aware of the problem of you can't look at yourself and accept these things, then and you think you're getting away with stuff and getting what you really want and need, you're wrong. You're a fool. Total fool. This saying, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's a harsh saying, and we can take it how we want. Okay? But shame is a bad person, and this is talking about doing something wrong or bad. So it's guilt. But it's the way we feel. We learn and we change. We can't keep doing the same thing, same way, same time, right? And keep expecting different results. So let's not be the fool. Because even though we've been fooled and conned and tricked and lied to and all this stuff, here we are today, right now. What are we going to do about it? Okay? Are we going to change? Or maybe we will be the fool someday. These are mistakes that we make. And we forgive ourselves just as we forgive those people who make mistakes against us. And that way we can learn and change and look at ourselves. Okay? We got fooled by the fool. But if we valued fooling people, then okay. Do you value fooling people? No. Then who cares who fooled us? Who cares? Screw them. That's what they value. We don't. I often talk about manipulators and really, really master manipulators. People say, God, they're so smart. They're so good at it. Don't compare yourself to that because you don't do it. It's like, if I want to be the best bricklayer, I start today and maybe in 20 years I'll be a good bricklayer, one of the best. But I'm not a good bricklayer. I don't value it. I've never done it. So I don't care who's good at manipulating and fooling and tricking and conning. That's not a valuable asset. Nobody cares. And you don't get anything you really emotionally need at all that way. You end relationships with beautiful people where you could get everything you need, but you're such a fool, you take and run. You take something that you'll never get. You take stuff from people that is never what you need. That's the fool. Okay? That's it. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your guys' experience that you feel comfortable sharing down below. Anybody watches this videos, I always recommend reading the comments. They're wonderful. They're heartbreaking. They're loving. And we can learn from them, and we can learn from others people's mistakes. And sometimes that's easier than looking at our own mistakes. We can look at others. Thank you, guys. Please feel comfortable sharing whatever you want. Ask questions, okay? And always, always, always love yourself first. Bye-bye.